My name is Rosalyn Reynolds. I had been married over 27 years when I received the phone call that my husband had been found on the bottom of a pool and was being taken to the emergency room. My heart stopped, I could hardly breathe, and I was filled with fear and desperation and helplessness. I started gathering items thinking I might have to stay overnight in the hospital, but then I heard something tell me, just go. So I dropped everything, grabbed my purse and my keys, and ran to the car. As I drove toward the hospital, I prayed that he would be okay. I had so much I wanted to talk to him about. We had had our struggles. I had watched over the years as he had changed and grown distant, and wanted to help, but not known how. And it was only after I discovered that he'd been struggling with long-term serious addictions that his anger and distance made sense. I prayed that he could recover, that we could heal our family. But that day, when the doctor emerged from the emergency room and told me that there was nothing more they could do, that my husband was gone, I knew that that healing would never occur. People around me felt sorry for me, so it was easy for me to feel sorry for me too. I lived life in victim mode, where always at the back of my mind and in my heart was the tragedy that I had lived through. And I remember standing in front of the mirror one day and looking at that woman that everybody saw as poor Rosalyn, and not wanting to live the rest of my life like that. I wanted to find happiness. I wanted peace. But I knew I would have to change if I were going to feel those things. So I decided to learn how to change. I started studying about the grieving process. I talked to people who had been through great trials, and I decided if I lived through this, I would write a book to help others make it through their tragedies more easily. And I started on that project. I allowed myself to grieve. I realized that the more I allowed the tears and the sorrow to be released, I was making room for healing and for hope. As I think back on my experience, I think if I could change anything, I would stop asking, why did this have to happen sooner? And I would begin sooner to ask, how can I learn from this? And how can I today take my next step forward? If I had any advice to give others, it would be, first of all, learn about the grieving process. Accept the fact that it can be painful and confusing and take time, but determine to work through it. Allow those tears to fall. Next, I would say, find support. Find somebody who understands grief, who will listen to you without judgment whenever you need that. Also, learn to overcome discouragement. It is possible. And build belief in yourself. You have great value. Lastly, I would suggest that you find opportunities to serve. As I have been able to serve others, and especially help others with their grief, it has been the sweetest form of relief ever. Again, my name is Rosalyn Reynolds, and I want to encourage you, know that healing will come and life can be good again.